Hey YouTube, ValidGirl5678 here, and it's time for another album review. Today we are going to be talking about this new album from blackstarkids, Saturn Dayz. This is the 6th album from Kansas City-based indie hip-hop, rock, pop, and contemporary R&B trio, blackstarkids, that consists of the babe Gabe, Ty Faison, and DeAndre. This album follows 2022's Cyberkiss, which was a super fun project that I deeply enjoyed. This album, though, Saturn Dayz, which is part 1 of a 2-part project, in fact, is a bit denser and complex, as it is a concept album about a black heaven on Saturn and how it relates to life on Earth. It follows a young woman who is trying to navigate this afterlife, and this particular aspect is represented through the outros of the tracks, each track having an interlude-like outro that relates to this, except track 2, Killjoy, which is a fire track with great production, a great chorus, and a great general development. The opening track, Wish, is a great opener that brings you into the world of the album sonically and thematically, down to the interlude-like outros that I mentioned. And I love the instrumentation in this track, especially the piano. Track 3, Emancipation of Stevie Wonder, is one of the most dense and impressive tracks on the album. The intro is really representative of the theme of the song, which is all the talk and opinions around black people in music, with Stevie Wonder as the thematic pin, if you will, that holds all the ideas and facts they're speaking on in this track together. And further, that ties into the album theme of Saturn, as Stevie Wonder obviously has a song called Saturn, and further they reference it in the track. The outro of this track speaks of Saturn more specifically than on Wish. It has some really nice guitar. Overall, this track is thematically super impressive and very layered, and I love the track sonically as well. I love the saxophone and just the general jazz-inspired instrumentation, which obviously relates to the title and theme of the track. So yeah, one of the best tracks on the album for sure. One of my personal favorite tracks on the album, though, is the next track, track 4, Soulmates. It's such a lyrically sweet and catchy track. I love the chorus and the development of the track, and I love how certain lyrics throughout the song tie into the Saturn/space theme of the entire project. I love Gabe's performance in the second verse, and the Saturn outro is so funny. Track 5, Modern Happiness, has some lovely instrumentation with the bass and saxophone carrying. I also really like the sparkly synths. They're a really nice touch. While the chorus is lyrically simple, I do feel like that's the point, and it's a beautiful sentiment. And the outro for this track, which is about God, is really funny. I love how they go about it. It's very smart, and I love the percussion in the outro as well. Track 6, the title track, Saturn Dayz, feels kind of like the thesis statement of the album, which makes sense given it's the title track. The flow throughout the entire track is great. The beat and just overall percussion is amazing. Throughout the whole song, they are spinning facts, but verse 4 with Gabe is honestly so raw, and I really fuck with that and respect that, and I love the line, "So just watch for my front, kid, I got your back," and then, "How do deadbeat dads live life without depression? If you didn't want the baby, why'd you smash without protection?" Tea. And the outro gives post-racial Tyler the Creator vibes. It's like an alien on a Tyler track, and I think that's pretty sick. Track 7, Black Children, is a beautiful song for and honoring black children, with great production, harmonies, and a jazzy anti-capitalist outro, which is awesome because jazz is inherently anti-capitalist. Track 8, Love is a Mosh Pit, has some slay production. I love this little dissonance in the chorus between the production and the flows. It's honestly kind of refreshing, and the outro is great, and it leads perfectly into the next track. Track 9, Boys Go to Jupiter, which is a fun way of playing on that like common phrase, what is it, like girls go to Venus and boys go to Jupiter or something, while still being in the theme of the album. This track is sonically interesting to me, as both the beat and flows feel kind of jagged separately and with one another, but it's not necessarily in a bad way. In my opinion, in my brain, it's kind of like in an Earl Sweatshirt way, most particularly in the verses, but then the chorus is really smooth and even, which is cool. It kind of rounds out the verses every time the chorus comes, and Gabe's verse on this track gives me recent Coco and Claire vibes, which is so cute. This naturally leads into track 10, UFO. In my opinion, this track is honestly the most derivative track on the album. It doesn't have my favorite production, and it's also the most like obvious connection to the Saturn theme, which is not inherently bad. I guess I just feel like if the connection to the general theme of the album is so obvious, I wish the music itself wasn't. I do love the Beam Me Up Scotty reference though, obviously. But yeah, this is probably my least favorite track on the album. Track 11, Stereotype, has a great chorus melodically. I love the production, and the point the song is making is very important. And there are definitely a lot of songs on this subject, but I feel like they often just scratch the surface. And I feel like blackstarkids really went deep on this track with this subject, and they did a great job with it. And the outro really ties all of the different outros together on this album just in time for the closing track, Mother Earth, which is a sweet R&B inspired outro for this album. And I love how the outro on this track speaks to all the different songs throughout the project, the fact that this is a two-part project, and that they had to go to Saturn to find peace on Earth, which I'm assuming is the theme of the second part of this project. And I think that's really beautiful and such a great idea for a two-part project. So overall, I love this album. I think it's a really well executed concept album, which personally I don't think I've seen recently. There's been so many good projects out there, especially this year, but I haven't seen a concept album this well executed in a while. And it's just one half of the concept. It's just the first part. It's lyrically and sonically fun and impressive at the same time. I honestly don't really have anything bad to say about this project. Maybe it could have been a bit more sonically versatile at times, but it's such a cohesive project. Like, I can't really be mad at that. Yeah, blackstarkids, this group, they are so underrated. Give the rest of their stuff a listen. They are so amazing. In my opinion, they are like the ones to watch in like Gen Z indie music. I'm gonna give this album an 8. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify, all linked below in the description. Make sure you're keeping up with my Song of the Week series that comes out every Saturday or Sunday on YouTube Shorts. Stay happy, healthy, and safe, and I will see you in my next video. Off to whatever planet the lesbians go to.